Ladies, welcome. Today we're going to be talking on the subject of should you tell the wife or the primary partner about his infidelity, that you're in a fair relationship with his partner. And this is an extremely controversial subject, and there are so many different opinions on whether to tell or not tell in this particular situation. And I want to quickly go through how to come to the right decision within yourself of what is the right thing to do. I was just about to upload the YouTube video and realized I didn't even introduce myself. And I think it's very important for me to do that because, as you may see, I look quite young, and you might be thinking why someone so young is talking on the topic of infidelity. And the truth was, I was in an affair for 7 years, and the pain that I went through of living this double life, the shame, the secrecy, all of that put a fire and a fuel in me to want to help women that are in affairs and living in secrecy and feeling completely powerless to create change in their life, to help them through that. So I have committed myself to educating myself on the subject of infidelity and getting help from the best of the best in human psychology and coaching to support people through this process. So I'm an affair coach. I help women that are the other woman or the mistress, women that are essentially actively in affairs, get out of affairs. And this subject of should you tell the husband that you're in an affair, you might be currently in the affair, or you could have been in a long-term affair in the past and also still contemplating this question that might be sitting heavy inside of you. So I just wanted to quickly say that so that you had a bit more of a backstory of what I do, and the work that I do, to give you a bit more clarity, because I definitely look young, and that is because I am, but that doesn't mean that the wealth of knowledge that I like binge on to support you ladies getting through this situation is a lot. So I hope that helps. I hope I can be of service, and we'll get back into this video. Essentially, no situation is the same. Every situation is so different. And so instead of going externally for the answers of should you tell or should you not tell, I really invite you to go within on finding the answer that sits right with you and trusting that voice and that feeling within, and knowing that that guidance is going to lead you to the right path. So just in general, this is a really sticky situation, and it can be really uncomfortable, and it has a lot of emotion in it, and you're going to want to feel like you want to do the right thing. But depending on whether you walk left or you walk right, or you choose decision A or you choose decision B, there's probably going to be discomfort with both. Whether you're feeling like you tell, but if you tell, it's going to end up in a mess, or you don't tell and you feel like ultimately you're going to be left with this feeling for so long like you should have. So, and there's so many different factors that can come in to the feelings that you may feel, but ultimately we want to tune in to your internal dialogue and commitment with yourself and see what is right from there. If we're constantly seeking answers externally, then it can sound logical, but if it doesn't feel right, then ultimately you're not going to feel right within. So I just want to quickly touch on, there is a blog called Go Ask Susie, and her blog is fantastic, and she has some fantastic questions to ask on this. And got a dog barking. She is a relationship coach and an affair coach, and helping people through affairs. And one of the questions that she really asks is, what are you going to get from this? Because it's important to ask, is the need to tell the wife about the affair coming from your ego or your intuition? Is it coming from your higher self, or is it coming from the need to protect you within? So if I just wind it back onto the many different opinions that people have opinions that range from absolutely not, you should not tell him, it's his relationship, it's his responsibility, that is not for you to walk in and step into. That's one opinion. There's the opinion of the wife or the primary affair partner should absolutely find out, because she needs to know what's going on behind closed doors, what's going on behind her back, so she really knows the truth of what's going on in the relationship. And although it may be painful, she deserves to know so she can create change from that. There's that opinion. And then there's the opinion of, by you telling her, it's just you putting all your pain, the shame, the guilt, everything that you're holding on to, and just dishing it onto her, and then feeling free yourself when you're leaving her with that heavy burden. And all these opinions and perspectives can be equally true and correct, but what we want to come to terms with is your unique situation, because there is very different, like there are so many different affair situations and everyone is completely different. You could have the one night stand with someone that you don't know at all, to this long-term affair where he has said that you are the one, and he has been cheating and talking negatively about his partner for 6 years, and you've been caught in this, and he has children, and you found out that he has been cheating with other people. Or it might be an affair with your best friend, and you have that loyalty with her. There is so many different factors that will really shift whether or not is the right thing to do in that current situation. So what I invite you to do, instead of looking externally for the answer, I want you to look internally for why you feel the need to tell her. So where is that need coming from? And what do you feel you would get from telling her? Is it that you wouldn't have to carry the pain anymore? Is it that you feel that she deserves to know what has actually been going on, so that she can choose whether or not this is a relationship that she wants to settle for? Is it there could be a multitude of reasons, but what we want to do is we want to find out what is the driver. Is it to get back on him because of the pain that you have been experiencing with the cheating partner, and in a way you want to get revenge so that he feels the pain that you're going through? So many different reasons and factors that could be the driving force of why you want to tell. And so I really invite you to get clear on, is this coming from a proactive, empowering place from your higher self, or is this coming from a need to protect yourself? Because if we go through, like say it is a need to get revenge, if we go through this covert way of getting our needs met, that's not a healthy way to get your needs met. And essentially there's deeper lessons in this affair that you could be learning instead of going about it in a covert way. So, and getting your needs met in a covert way. So really tune in, like, what's your desire? Where's it coming from? Why do you think this will serve her by telling it? Why do you think it will serve you? What do you think you would gain from telling her? What do you think she would gain from you telling her? What could you lose? What potential outcomes could you lose if you did tell? And really weighing up the different options. But the biggest thing I want you to really tune into while you're making this decision is where it's coming from within. Is it coming from a pain place? Is it coming from a hurt place? Or is it coming from your higher self thinking that this is the right thing to do in this situation? And lastly, I just want to quickly touch on, ultimately, you want to be asking yourself, what is the outcome you want long term? What is it? If you were looking back at this situation 10 years from now, what outcome would you like from this situation? And what steps is going to get you move you towards that outcome? If you've said 1,000 times that you've wanted to leave this situation and you can't, you may feel like telling the wife is the last thing that you really need to do to stop breaking that cycle between the three of you. Can you get that leverage elsewhere? Potentially is really about like asking different questions and seeing what's going to serve you best based on your unique situation. Can you get that support elsewhere? Is telling her the right thing to do to help break that cycle? What is it? There are so many unique factors. There's also like abuse and things that get unsafe sorry, get my words out. There's also like the potential that things could get unhealthy and unsafe and abusive. So really weighing up on what are your fears around that, and why telling or not telling her could come into your decision making on that. Is the wife safe in this situation? Are you safe in this situation? There are so many different factors. What I really want to drill into you guys is that this decision comes from you. If you're looking external from the situation, someone's opinion might sound so amazing. And I want to quickly say my personal story is I was seeing a counselor, and she told me, you telling her is putting your pain onto her. And I heard it and I was like, that's so true. I don't want to put my pain onto her. I don't want to do the wrong thing. And in a way, my gut was saying, I need to tell her. She needs to know. She deserves to know what is going on behind her back. That's what I felt. And when my counselor said that you're just putting your pain onto her, I was like, yeah. And my ego was like, great. There's my like get out of jail free card of not doing what I felt was the right thing to do. That was authentic and telling the truth and being truthful. That was kind of my get out of jail free card. It was like, oh, then I don't have to tell her, like, because I don't want to put my pain onto her, so I could just not tell her. And for me, deep down inside, that was not my truth. Your truth might be completely different. Again, every situation is different. Where you're coming from is completely different. Nothing is right or wrong. It's really what's going to serve you best in the moment. But for me, when I heard my counselor say that, that was the easy way to get out of the pain that I was going through. It was like, well, like temporarily, it was like, ah, cool. I don't have to tell her because that I don't want to put my pain onto her. But deep down, my intuition was like, no, she deserves to know what she's going through. She really deserves to know. And I wanted her to know. And so until I came to that truth within, I was like blocking my truth and listening to my counselor's truth of not telling for quite a few years. And it kept me stuck. And it held me down. And so again, even your biggest influencers and the people that you really look up to, if they have a perspective, if it doesn't sit right with you, listen to yourself. Listen to yourself. You ultimately know what's best in your situation. It is a beautiful, beautiful compass for where you need to go to next. It's time to start tuning into it. So I leave you with that. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope this video wasn't too windy, because it's definitely windy where I am. And if you have any questions and you're stuck on the fence of whether to tell or not to tell, I would love to hear what you're weighing up on both sides of the story, and ask your questions. Send me a message on Instagram or email, and I would love to support you. Bye for now.